what can teachers do? Can teachers use your book? In what way would they benefit from this book?
So my book is laid out so that I focus on what's called the science of reading, otherwise known as the 5 pillars of reading. So the first pillar of reading is phonemic awareness. Phonemic awareness is auditory processing. So can kids listen to sounds and be able to understand and make meaning? So if I said to a second grader, say the word flip, kid says flip. Now say flip again, but change the f to s. Could the kid tell me what the answer is accurately? What's the answer? The answer is slip.
Look,
That's
right.
auditory processing. That's phonemic awareness. That's
Mhm.
a red flag for dyslexia if a kid has trouble with
Right.
interpreting language just by listening. So we focus in the book on, I focus on introducing parents to phonemic awareness and how they can
Mhm.
build phonemic awareness at home through
Mhm.
play. Through
Right.
play. Then
Mhm.
once kids' ears are focused, then we're ready for the next pillar of reading, which is phonics. Can kids visually interpret what they read? This is what you
Mhm.
were just talking about. These
Right.
groups of letters form together that make up words, and they're called syllables. Can kids decode visually what they're
Right.
reading? Some kids can, some kids cannot.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
help parents understand this process because we can teach kids phonemes on the sounds. There's 44 phonemes or sounds in words. If we teach kids these, and we teach them about phonemic awareness and auditory processing, and then help them visually, we connect the visual and the auditory. We're going to help them become readers. So we go from 2 letter words like at, bat, cat, rat, sat, to non-rhyming words where kids have to be able to blend and segment. These are real key skills. Then parents need to be able to help their kids put this information together to read sentences. And sentences are made up of these sort of words plus what we call sight words, words like they and
Mhm.
words like want and once. These are words whose vowels and letters break the phonics rules. So they have to be taught. They have to see these words over and
Right.
over and over again,
Mhm.
because if they don't learn the sight words, then they don't become fluent readers. If you're not a fluent reader, then you have this reading achievement gap.
Right.
And for every year a kid does not move on to the next grade on grade level, that's a huge disadvantage. They're disadvantaged, and the gap keeps growing because reading, as we know, with everything else, is sequential. And
Mhm.
so we have to listen to kids read to see if they're fluent. And if they're not, we have to help them become fluent by teaching them phonics. So we have decoding and then encoding, figuring out what the words are visually, and then helping them apply that to spelling. That's encoding. All of
Right.
this is in the book because you have to be able to read and write.
Mhm.
And so after phonics and fluency, we're listening for accuracy. We're listening to help them with the miscues and errors so that we can help them improve. And we do that by having them reread and practice. Kids don't get enough practice. They
Mhm.
might know the words to the rap song, but do they know the words in that paragraph? How about we
Right.
have you reread this paragraph daily so your brain, every time you read, your brain is taking a picture of these words. So the brain needs repetition. And then after that, we start focusing on vocabulary and then comprehension. Hey, you just read that paragraph. Tell me what that paragraph is mainly about. We can be having these conversations with lap time with 2 and 3 year olds on our laps, but then beyond
Yeah.
2 and 3, we still have to read with kindergarten kids. We still
Mhm.
have to read with second graders. I have a part in the book where usually at my private practice, when I first meet a kid, one of the conversations we have is, when's the last time you read a book with mom? Or when's the last time you've read a book? And sometimes I get the most interesting responses. I'm not a kid. I'm not a baby. My mother doesn't read to me. My mother doesn't have time for me. Reading, I'm not a baby anymore, or only my teacher reads to me. We don't read. So literacy is absent from the home. So we cannot continue to only rely on school systems.
No.
We need mom. This is a cry from mom to take back her power, because once upon a time, who helped you? If we look at the history books, it was mom.
Yeah.
Mom was helping you do your homework. And I know we're bogged down with work. I know most kids don't come from two-parent households, but nonetheless, we have got to find a way to embed this in, even if it's 10 to 15 minutes per day,
Hmm.
because our children are struggling and they want to learn how to read. Once they get past fourth and fifth grade and into middle school, it is very hard to convince a kid in grade 6 through 12 that this can be improved, because by then they have managed to convince themselves that they're stupid, they're dumb, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'll never get this,
Hmm.
and they've been pushed along such that they don't believe that they can learn. So it's very disheartening to see, to watch. I do have older clients. It's very, very challenging if a kid is in grade 6. I would say 5 through 12. It is very challenging to help them,
Mm.
because their mindset is the
Yeah.
first thing you need to work on. They don't
Hmm.
believe that they can learn to read fluently, or they're too embarrassed